Hello, welcome back. Patrick WWDC is here. So this is the first tutorial of Learn PHP, MySQL, JavaScript and CSS programming. And this is the fastest intro of all my videos. Yeah. So let's continue normally. So I'm going to teach you, I told you, PHP, MySQL, JavaScript and CSS in many chapters and many videos. I'm sorry. I don't know how much. I'm running the Zend server. You can find it Zend server here, and you download the server and install it, and you have. So here are all my files that are going to be in the web. So, and little introduction now. By default, PHP documents end with the extension .php. When a web server encounters this extension in a requested file, it automatically passes it to the PHP processor, in this case Zend server. Of course, web servers are highly configurable, and some web developers choose to force files with ending with .htm or HTML to also get parsed by the PHP processor, usually because they want to hide the fact that they are using PHP. Like, it's embarrassing to use PHP. It's not. I know, I forgot how much percent of web pages use PHP. I'm going to tell you that in the next tutorial. So your PHP program or our is responsible for passing back a clean file suitable for display in a web browser. At its very simplest, a PHP document will output only HTML. To prove this, you can take any normal HTML document, such as index.html file, and save it as index.php. It will display identically to the original. So now I'm going to tell you how to call PHP parser. To trigger the PHP commands, you need to learn a new tag. So the first is I'm going to create a new document. New. How to make a new document? New. So PHP, no. So let's create it and save as. I'm going to do this here and index.php, and I'm going to save it, and it should be here. And I'm going to delete all this. So this is the new PHP tag, PHP. So the first thing you may notice is that the tag has not been closed. So if I put like this, it's not closed. This is because entire sections of PHP can be placed inside this tag, and they finish only when the closing part, which looks like this. It looks like this. So everything inside this is PHP, or it can be HTML. So here is the small PHP code. Hello world. So let's save it, and here and refresh the page. Or I can do like this, index.php, but it's not showing. So it says hello world. Oh, the way you use this tag is quite flexible. Some programmers open the tag at the start of a document and close it right at the end. How are we going to do? Outputting any HTML directly from PHP commands. Others, however, choose to insert only the smallest possible fragments of PHP within these tags wherever dynamic scripting is required, leaving the rest of the document is standard HTML. The latter type of programmer generally argues that their style of coding results in faster code, while the former say that the speeds increase is so minimal that it doesn't justify the additional complexity of dropping in and out of PHP many times in a single document. As you learn more, you will surely discover your preferred style of PHP development. You dudes, you are going to discover. But for the sake of making the examples in this book easier to follow, I have adopted the approach of keeping the number of transfer. So in this book, I say because, yeah, just I say like that. Because it's a little like a script for reading, and I said book. I'm sorry. So it's like something that I'm writing. I'm sorry for that. So I have adopted the approach of keeping the number of transfers between PHP and HTML to a minimum, generally only once or twice in a document. By the way, slight variation to the PHP syntax exists. If you browse the internet for PHP examples, you may also encounter code where the opening and closing syntax looks like this. Just this. Howto is not as obvious that the PHP parser is being called. This is a veiled alternative syntax that also usually works, but we are going to use this. However, it should be discouraged as it is incompatible with XML, and its use is now depressed, meaning that is no longer recommended and that support could be removed in the future versions. So the structure of PHP. We are going to cover quite a lot of ground in this section. You and me. It's not too difficult, but I recommend that you work your way through it carefully, as it sets the foundation for everything else in these videos. As always, there are some useful questions at the end of the video that I'm going to ask you, so you can test how much you learned from the video. So we can use also comments. One type of comment. There are two ways in which you can add a comment to your PHP code. First, turns a single line into a comment by preceding it with a pair of forward slashes, like this. This is comment. But if I put something in another line, it's not going to be a comment. This version of the comment feature is a great way to temporarily remove a line of code from a program that is giving you errors. For example, you could use such a comment to hide the debugging line of code until you need it, like this. You can say echo hi, and I want to remove this because I don't need it. And yeah, I refresh this page, and I'm sorry I haven't got enough time for any longer, and goodbye, I'll see you next time.